Hey, resilient soul. The world may praise noise, but you stand here, listening, not shouting. Let's be real. You're tired of chasing calm like it's a finish line that always moves. You wake up with a racing mind. Pocket vibrations and headlines disrupt your mornings before breakfast hits the plate. You want clarity, composure, control, but it slips through your fingers each time the chaos outside leaks into the silence inside. This is your mirror moment. Today, we're not adding another self-help slogan to your collection. We are here to rebuild, to lift the fog from your eyes and guide you toward the quiet mastery the Stoics lived and breathed. Breathe in, slow down. Tonight, we begin the journey to clear thinking, calm action, and real control. Your days feel like weather, unpredictable, destructive, out of your hands. Someone else's mood, a missed email, a train delay, and suddenly your sense of peace is gone. You ride the storm and call it fate. But what if true control isn't about stopping the storm, but about mastering the way you narrate it to yourself? The Stoics understood. The outer world can be mad, but your inner dialogue is always yours to refine. Imagine for a moment that you're a news anchor in the newsroom of your own mind. Outside, rain slams the window, thunder rattles the glass, and, yes, your neighbour seems to be learning bagpipes at 2 a.m. Situation: catastrophic. But then you shuffle your papers, turn to the imaginary camera, and announce, "Tonight's forecast. Life is annoyingly loud, but we are here, calm at the desk, dry under this stylish blazer of perspective." The Stoics would have thrived at the Weather Channel. We can't control the weather, folks, a Stoic meteorologist would say, but we can always bring an umbrella and a sense of humour. Tune in next week when Seneca reports on the unexpected hailstorm in your inbox. The core insight: you are not tasked with subduing life's tempests. You are tasked with narrating the chaos like a chill podcaster, sipping tea while all hell breaks loose. When you make the mistake of thinking control means bending reality to your will, you're basically yelling at clouds, demanding sunshine. Spoiler alert from Marcus Aurelius. Stop shaking your fist at the universe. Start telling yourself a better story about the weather. The story is not, "The gods hate me, and that's why I spilled coffee on my last clean shirt." But maybe, "The universe is seasoning me with a hint of adversity. Now I accidentally look like a Jackson Pollock painting, and that's what makes me memorable at Zoom meetings." This, the Stoics taught, is the only real control. Not the traffic, not the email replies that never come, not whether that one friend responds LOL to your meticulously crafted meme masterpiece. Control is noticing when you're catastrophizing. It's editing the script running wild in your head. You stop letting the storm dictate the story. Instead, you become Shakespeare directing a play where even the missteps are comedic gold. Imagine Epictetus dealing with modern life. He gets locked out of his online banking. Again, does he rage? No. He calmly observes his own irritation, shrugs, and offers this mental note: "Here is frustration. Frustration is not me. It is just weather passing through." Then, perhaps, he finds amusement in the absurdity of forgetting his password for the 47th time. Because yes, some things truly are universal. You may not steer the storm, but you set the soundtrack. Will it be epic battle music or a light-hearted ukulele riff? The Stoics suggest going for the ukulele. They knew that tragedy becomes tolerable, even ridiculous, when you adjust the story you tell yourself about it. There's power in re-narration, power in being the main character, rather than the storm's victim. Power in rewriting the script, even as the rain comes down sideways. In the end, your narrative, your inner voice, your take, your ongoing podcast becomes the most important element. Will you be the panicked weather reporter or the philosophical host with an umbrella, a killer playlist, and a half smile control the story, not the storm. The clouds may gather and the email server might yet again eat your meticulously worded message, but you, yes, you are the storyteller, and that, as the Stoics knew, is the real superpower. So tonight, as the winds of worry howl and the unexpected knocks at your window, practice this. Narrate your inner forecast. Describe the chaos, but do so with style, patience, and maybe the tiniest hint of a wink. After all, as Seneca didn't quite say, when it rains, let it pour. But let your story be the warm fire you gather around. You feel every provocation in your bones. A passive-aggressive text, a careless honk, scrollable outrage by the minute. You're ready to fire back, match chaos with chaos. But what if your greatest power is to pause? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength. Reaction is instinct. Response is discipline." Imagine the pride of holding that pause, of owning the gap between impulse and outcome. Let's talk about the gap. You know the one? That split second after someone sends you a snarky meme, before your thumbs go wild in the group chat. It's like emotional limbo. Your ancient brain yells, "Respond with a spicy GIF." But somewhere deeper, the Stoic in you whispers, "Maybe don't send that raccoon revenge meme at 2 a.m. Stoicism is all about lengthening this gap, not to become a robot, but to steer the wild horses of impulse. Do you want to be the person people expect to snap, or the legend whose calm unnerves even the most persistent online troll? Seneca, one of the original kings of self-control, said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That's right. You can own the deed to your own mind. Imagine how modern life would change. Someone steals your parking spot, and you smile, maybe even wave. Madness, but also strength. So next time rage starts bubbling, whether it's over an email written entirely in Comic Sans, or a neighbor's experimental jazz at midnight, picture your mind as a serene lake. The chaos is a pebble, plopping in, ripples spreading out. But do you leap in and splash around, or let the ripples pass? Sometimes the act of pausing, even counting to 3, or taking the world's most suspiciously long sip of coffee, makes you the hero of your own story. Modern Stoicism isn't about bottling up frustration and hoping you won't explode at a plush toy later. It's about swapping the hair trigger for a thoughtful delay. Epictetus gave us a cheat code. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Translation: the universe is going to serve you a buffet of weirdness, but you choose what lands on your plate. Your mind is not a battleground for every irritation. In fact, you can treat annoyances like bits of spam in your inbox. Left unread, move to trash. No need to forward them to your stress levels. When anger shines its blinking notification, you can open, pause, and, if you really want, just delete. In the modern digital age, responding wisely is almost rebellious. It's easier to feed the algorithm with snark and fury, but anyone can rage click. Anyone can dash off a flustered comment, escalate an argument over pineapple on pizza, or retaliate with a GIF war. It takes discipline to breathe instead. Try this. Next time someone tries to pull you into their drama tornado, imagine you're Marcus Aurelius at a bus stop. He probably wouldn't subtweet back. He'd watch the chaos board the next bus out of town while he sips his coffee, or whatever Roman emperors sipped. That's composure. That's power. And honestly, that's pretty funny too. Remember, you don't have to react to every instance of absurdity. The world spins on, memes and all. You're not here to fight every battle, or even acknowledge every invitation to chaos. The real flex is responding, or sometimes not responding at all. If someone wants to join Team Outrage, let them. Your jersey says calm power, stitched in gold. You own the pause, and in owning it, you own yourself. You want so badly to win. The approval, the reply, the prize placed on tomorrow's shelf. Detachment sounds cold to you, like giving up. But aren't you tired of giving your peace to things that never fill you up? The Stoics called it apatheia, not apathy, the freedom to care deeply, without needing to clutch. Real detachment is dignified, an act of self-respect, not withdrawal. Imagine you're walking through a grocery store with a broken shopping cart wheel. You know, that one possessed, squeaky demon. Every aisle, it jerks, left, right, throws your broccoli into the pasta section and your dignity onto the floor next to the canned beans. Now imagine that every urge to control outcomes is like wrestling with that shopping cart. The harder you fight the cart, the worse the ride. But if you let the cart wobble and just steer gently, suddenly you realize catastrophe is optional. You move through the store with a weird kind of elegance, broccoli orbiting you like a moon. But hey, you're calm. Seneca probably would have written a tractate on shopping carts if they'd existed. He'd point out the pointless suffering of insisting your life glides straight when the universe has clearly given everyone a cart with at least one rogue wheel. Detachment, dignified, daily, is the act of choosing to push calmly, not angrily. It's noticing your peace is worth more than winning the war with a wheel that's never cared about your destiny. Think about how many times in a day you involuntarily auction off your serenity. Did someone cut you off in traffic? You hand them an all-access pass to your mood. Did you not get instant recognition for your hard work? Suddenly, your contentment is up for grabs. The Stoic quietly sips their coffee, watching the frantic bids with an amused eyebrow raise, refusing to yell, "Sold!" at the expense of their own mind. But you raise a reasonable eyebrow. If you don't care about the result, won't you become a couch potato who meditates on laundry piles? Not quite. Stoic detachment isn't about inaction. It's about relentless action unyoked from outcome addiction. Marcus Aurelius still got up before dawn to run the Roman Empire, despite knowing that no handwritten Yelp review awaited him. You too can hammer out spreadsheets, paint, parent, or hustle, but with the dignity of doing because it feels right, not because you need someone else's parade. Consider detachment's mascot, a noble golden retriever wearing a tiny suit, a monocle. He sits at the bus stop in the rain, pure, serene, dapper, not upset that the bus is late, not frantic to chase every passing car. He studies soggy humans with gentle curiosity and wisdom beyond his years. He knows the rain will fall, buses will come or not, tail will wag regardless. How dignified to be that dog, holding your own leash. Stoic detachment is the bold decision to stop setting your self-worth's thermostat with someone else's remote control. Detachment dries the wet socks of the soul after you've splashed in the puddles of unchecked expectation. It means savoring small victories without panic and greeting failures with a gentle nod, as if to say, you're allowed to visit, just not to unpack and redecorate. Sleepy yet? Good. Because the world's drama can wait outside your mental front porch. Let your mind unclench its fist, loosen its grip on tomorrow's headlines, and drift into the kind of peace that only comes from knowing what's truly yours. Your intentions, your values, your quietly regal detachment. And remember, nobody ever lost sleep over not winning the imaginary prize for most tightly wound human. Even the Stoics snored. You want clarity, but comfort seduces you. Excuses slip in. I'm just wired this way. They made me feel this. It's not my fault. These lines soothe your ego, but fog your vision. Seneca wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity. for he is not permitted to prove himself. The moment you stop making excuses, the mirror gets clean. And so does your mind. Let's take a walk through the dense jungle of self-justification, machete in hand. Every excuse is a vine, dangling, tripping you up, daring you to blame the weather for your shoes getting muddy. I was going to get up early, but my bed has gravitational pull. I'd start setting boundaries, but what if Karen from accounting thinks I'm rude? Each one is sly, promising you protection from discomfort, but all they do is stick your mind in a foggy hamster wheel. Seneca and Marcus Aurelius did not have to battle Netflix, Wi-Fi outages, or group chats named work friends without Gary. But they did face a surprisingly similar opponent, their own excuses. Excuses are the candlelit dinner for your inner comfort addict. But let's get honest, the bill comes due. Every time we shield ourselves with a soft, quilted excuse, we block the sharp but clarifying sting of reality. It's like putting on sunglasses indoors, just so you can't see the dust on the coffee table. But hey, if you want to pretend your living room is spotless, you do you. Clarity is not a spa treatment for the soul. It doesn't show up with cucumber water and a relaxing playlist. It arrives with a mop and bucket, ready to clean up the mess excuses made. Think of clarity as the brutally honest friend who tells you the kale salad stuck in your teeth has been there all meeting. Embarrassing, yes. Helpful, absolutely. This is what Marcus Aurelius meant by, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. You might cringe, but your mouth and your life get cleaned up in the process. The moment you drop an excuse, there's a moment of raw vulnerability, like stepping into cold water. There's nothing between you and the truth except the shivers. You see your patterns, your triggers, your favorite reruns of Why Me? But this time, instead of pressing play, you reach for the remote and switch channels. Clarity begins not when you have the answers, but when you finally get honest about the fact that you're the one holding the broom, the soap, and a list of reasons why you'd rather not use them. Let's be real. Blaming your boss, your past, your cat, or the planetary alignment for your bad day is way more comfortable than taking radical responsibility. But Stoicism isn't about comfort. It's about freedom. And that freedom starts exactly where your excuses run out of road. When you opt for clarity, the world doesn't magically get easier, but it becomes navigable. The fog lifts. Your own 2 feet become visible, wobbly at first, but there nonetheless. No one is telling you to iron your soul into a perfect toga overnight. You'll backslide. Excuses will lure you with all-you-can-eat buffets of self-pity and finger-pointing. But each time you choose to face yourself instead, you sharpen your vision. Excuses keep you chasing the same problems in circles, but clarity hands you the map you've always wanted, annotated with, "Here you are." X marks the spot. So next time you're tempted to say, "I just can't help it," pause, like a philosopher mid-epiphany. Notice the urge to blame. Notice the urge to defend. Then just for a moment, do nothing. Let the need to excuse melt away. Stand in the heart of reality, as clear as you dare to see it. That's where understanding begins. That's where growth starts. And yes, sometimes, that's where you finally realize Karen from accounting really wasn't thinking about you at all. You replay your words, fear misinterpretation, explain yourself in circles. You want approval, not just to be right, but to be seen. Stoics mastered the art of being misunderstood without losing sleep. You don't explain silence to noise. When did being at peace with being unvalidated become so rare? That's your newest discipline. Let others misunderstand and stay rooted. Imagine yourself standing in a crowded room, your words drifting into the air like bubbles. You watch them rise, hoping that someone, anyone, will pop them with a smile of understanding. But instead, your bubbles float away, ignored, or worse, burst with that familiar puzzled frown. What did you mean by that? Someone asks, pulling out a notepad and metaphorical magnifying glass. You feel that old urge. Clarify, defend, elaborate, until your point has been patted, burped, and swaddled. But the Stoics stare right through the fog of misunderstanding and simply pour themselves some herbal tea. The discipline, then, is not in the successful mind meld, but in sipping your tea as the fog swirls. You might think being misunderstood is an injustice, a crime politely labelled communication breakdown. You rally your internal defence attorneys, prepared to argue your case, and inevitably lose 10 hours of sleep and 15 IQ points. Deep down, you crave unanimous approval, a choir of voices assuring you, yes, you make sense. Yes, you belong. Marcus Aurelius releases a gentle snort from across the centuries. Why do you concern yourself with their thoughts? Their confusion, like their hairstyles and dietary preferences, is not yours to carry around. Let's be honest, even a perfectly worded message can be twisted in the world's washing machine and come out as a sock you never bought. Sometimes people hear what they're ready to hear, not what you meant to send. Stoics understood that what sticks in the listener's mind is often more about their filter than your frequency. It's not your problem if someone mistakes your reflection for a funhouse distortion. So, picture the next moment you're misunderstood. Maybe it's an awkward text, or a conversation that went haywire at a family dinner. Instead of the frantic urge to fix, pause. Remember, you don't have to collect every loose thread of opinion about you. Let others knit their own stories, flawed, hilarious, or plain, incorrect as they may be. Your job is not to iron out every crinkle in the world's understanding. If you spend all your energy on public relations for your own existence, you'll be too tired to live it. There's a gentle arrogance, an almost majestic aloofness, in not needing to be understood. The Stoics didn't call a press conference every time someone misread their intentions. Imagine Seneca fielding tough questions from a panel of disgruntled philosophers. Seneca, did you really mean what you wrote about onions? No. He was busy tending to the things that mattered. His own virtue, his own peace. You too can oversee the editorial mistakes of public opinion, like a cat watching birds beyond the window, mildly interested, supremely unbothered. Let your inner world remain your own library, curated and quiet. If visitors misread the sign or think Plato is a self-help author, so be it. The discipline of not needing to be understood is not coldness. It's warmth with boundaries. It is knowing you are clear to yourself, that your intentions do not need a PowerPoint presentation to justify their goodness. Some people will misinterpret your silence for arrogance, your laughter for ignorance, your compassion for weakness. That's their art project. Let them paint. Sleep easy, knowing that being misunderstood is inevitable, and often hilariously out of your control. Let the world's opinions float by. Just background noise to the symphony of your inner stillness. In time, you may find that the silence of not explaining yourself was always more restful than any approval you ever chased. You meditate, you journal, you breathe, and then you open your inbox and the storm begins anew. Stoicism isn't just about quieting the mind. It's about moving through the world with unhurried intent, even when chaos returns. Your composure isn't measured in stillness. It is measured in motion, stable, purposeful, unflappable. Now let's get brutally philosophical about it. If Marcus Aurelius, emperor, philosopher, all-around poster boy for anti-anxiety Instagram accounts, could run an entire Roman Empire while practicing calm action, then surely you can handle Brenda's my last email, with minimal sighing. The Stoics didn't just contemplate virtue from their comfy chairs. Okay, they probably had stone benches, which is about as comfortable as a folding chair from a 90s school assembly. They lived their philosophy with sleeves rolled up and laundry still unfolded. You can't control the weather, traffic, or your neighbor Steve's decision to practice the trombone at midnight. The Stoics called these externals. What you can control is how you act, especially when everything around you seems to be conducting a synchronized interpretive dance titled Minor Annoyances, Major Disruptions. Calm action doesn't mean pretending not to care or walking serenely through life as if you're permanently on vacation in a chamomile-scented spa. It means responding, not reacting. It means channeling your inner Dwayne, the Stoic, Johnson. The world throws a dumbbell at you, and you quietly bench press it into next week. Envision Epictetus, born into slavery, rose to become one of the world's hottest motivational speakers. Ancient edition, encouraging folks not by sitting around humming, but by demonstrating that calm in the face of chaos looks like choosing your response, not surrendering to your reflex. He advised us, in effect, to become the eye of the hurricane, calm at the center, clarity in the chaos, but still spinning with the world. Calm action is what lets the chaos swirl without turning you into a human snow globe. Start with practicalities. You can plan a mindful morning, sipping coffee like it's a spiritual elixir, but when the cat knocks over your mug, you need to decide, will I respond with a slow motion, no, or will I calmly fetch the paper towels, maybe congratulate the cat on their little experiment with gravity, and move forward? Calm action means your external world is messy, but your actions remain measured, or at least well mopped. This is why the Stoics advocated premeditatio malorum, or premeditation of evils, which sounds very dramatic, but is really just rehearsing in your mind what could go wrong, so you won't act surprised when it inevitably does. If only they'd foreseen memes. By expecting little, storms, your actions are less likely to spiral with your thoughts. You're less of a flapping windsock, more of a rooted oak tree, maybe a bit sleepier, but much less likely to be blown anywhere embarrassing. Picture your emails, traffic jams, or accidental Zoom meetings in your pajamas as the tests of modern virtue. Calm thought preps your mind. Calm action kicks in when the Wi-Fi drops mid-presentation and your heart rate spikes. You press reconnect as if you're pressing the elevator button. One deliberate motion, no frantic jabbing. Another day, another epic trial. By acting with poise, you reinforce the neural pathways of I've got this, even as your calendar resembles a Jackson Pollock painting of chaos. If Stoicism was just a cozy mind palace, well, archaeologists would be digging up a lot fewer ancient quotes about duty and effort. It's about the grit to do what matters, calmly, even excitedly, while everyone else is running around like distracted as squirrels. So the next time you encounter chaos, be it an overflowing inbox or the infamous printer jam, respond with calm action. Marcus didn't panic. Neither should you. Unless the printer's actually on fire. In that case, calmly call for help. Even Stoicism won't fix that. You think kindness means endless access, that selflessness and self-sacrifice are twins. But the Stoics knew that discipline isn't harsh, it's protective. You teach others how to treat you by what you tolerate. Boundaries aren't walls. They are the gates through which only peace and virtue may pass. Let us imagine your mind as a Mediterranean fortress perched along the bluffs. Sun-soaked, ancient, and utterly impenetrable to chaos. The Stoics man the watchtowers, sipping their fig leaf tea and eyeing every approaching visitor, be it demanding emails or the just one more thing crowd of your life, with practiced detachment. Marcus Aurelius himself, sitting cross-legged atop your castle's parapet, gently whispers, "If you do not respect your gate, who will?" The answer, of course, is no one. Not your boss, not your family, not even that extremely enthusiastic neighbor who wants to discuss his new leaf blower at midnight. Setting boundaries isn't about being cold or spiky. It is knowing which energies are worthy of your inner courtyard and which must remain outside, where they can harmlessly discuss leaf blowers with the raccoons. To own your boundaries is to trade drama for clarity, resentment for serenity. You say, "Welcome, but remove your muddy shoes." Or sometimes, "Tonight, the gates are closed. Peaceful siege only." Boundaries are less about saying no to others and more about saying yes to your own sanity. Seneca, with his suspiciously modern wisdom, might pop up to remind you, he who suffers before it is necessary, suffers more than is necessary. In other words, if you don't guard your peace, you'll end up suffering over stuff you never wanted in the first place. Like that birthday brunch you didn't want to go to, or that Zoom meeting scheduled at the unholy hour of not even coffee yet. Picture your boundaries not as barbed wire, but as finely tuned velvet ropes. What gets VIP access? Integrity, kindness, mutual respect. What gets redirected to the metaphorical guest list for another party? Guilt trips, last-minute requests, toxic side comments disguised as feedback. The Stoics would have had no patience for people-pleasing. If you seek tranquility, Epictetus whispers, do less. Or at least, do less of what isn't yours to carry. This is where Stoic humor helps. The next time someone barrels through your boundaries bearing a wheelbarrow of their problems, pause and ask yourself, is this my wheelbarrow? Did I ask for these metaphorical rutabagas? 9 times out of 10, the answer is a polite but firm, may your wheelbarrow roll in peace, somewhere else. You can wish people well from the safety of your drawbridge. That, too, is an act of kindness. And about that nagging guilt, the sense that prioritizing your own well-being is somehow selfish, the Stoics would sigh knowingly and remind you, you're of little use to the world as a crumpled welcome mat. You are meant to be an example of harmonious self-respect, so others will sense, even subconsciously, the shape of your gates. When you lead with firmness, others learn to walk softly. When you lower your drawbridge carelessly, everyone brings their baggage. Tonight, as you drift into sleep, imagine your Stoic fortress, unhurried, sturdy, your mind patrolled by kindly philosophers who keep watch not with swords, but with wisdom. Hear the gentle lapping of tranquil waters against your strong walls. Inside, only your values and peace preside. Tomorrow and every day, wake knowing you have permission, indeed, the ancient mandate. To own your boundaries like a fortress that is friendly, but never unguarded. Every day is littered with shoulds. I should be more successful, happier, further along. You drag a wagon of imagined standards up every hill. The Stoic says, focus on what you control, accept what you cannot. Dropping the shoulds is not laziness. It's true freedom. The day you stop demanding the world meet your script, you start living the story as it is. Let's imagine the should monster for a moment, shall we? It's a squiggly, disapproving little gremlin, perched permanently on your shoulder. Every time you do something, anything, it tuts and shakes its clipboard. You should already have a houseplant that survived more than a week, should have sent that email, should have saved more in your 401k. The should monster is exhausting, and frankly, it has a questionable sense of style. The Stoic thinks, what if I told this monster to take a vacation to somewhere far, far away? preferably with no cell service. The Stoics understood. Should is a recipe for self-inflicted suffering. Epictetus, who knew a thing or two about not getting what he wanted, would recommend saying, "Is this within my control? If not, release your grip. If yes, take practical steps, but still realize outcomes are not owed to you by the universe, no matter how many self-help books your bookshelf buckles under." We inherit so many shoulds from family, culture, and the internet's endless parade of influences. Should have six-pack abs. Should meditate at sunrise atop a minimalist mountain. Should have at least one quirky talent to impress strangers at dinner parties. You end up living in the future tense, always slightly disappointed with the present. The Stoics' gently raised eyebrow seems to ask, did you ever actually want those things? Or were you just programmed by other people's highlight reels? Notice how should saps the fun from almost everything. I should enjoy this party creates pressure to dance like a caffeinated octopus when maybe you'd rather eat chips in the kitchen with the dog. I should have more friends converts the beauty of two loyal companions into imagined lack. Should is a sneaky thief, stealing the joy from enough and hiding it behind the unreachable curtain of more. The freedom of dropping should is sneaky too. It doesn't show up all at once like a dramatic fireworks display. It's more like exhaling after holding your breath for too long. A soft, quiet letting go, the body returning to its natural state. You realize you can show up to your life where it is, instead of resenting it for not being another, shinier version. And as for the should monster, it's quieter now, possibly knitting sweaters with meh patterns. So, how do you practice this Stoic sorcery? Start with a daily audit. Notice the shoulds as they pop up. No need to wrestle them or launch them from a metaphorical trebuchet. Smile at them like you'd smile at an over-enthusiastic, slightly misplaced motivational poster. Ah, there you are again. Thanks for your input, inner life coach. But today, I'm going to try something wild and radical. Contentment with what is. Instead of waking up with a taskmaster's whip, imagine rising with a gentle invitation. What can I do with what I actually have, here and now? In dropping the tyranny of should, you slowly build something more honest. A daily life governed by what matters and what's possible, not by imaginary obligations. Suddenly, there's room for gratitude to creep in. A much better house guest than should monster, frankly. Maybe your houseplant is still droopy. Maybe your inbox is full. But there is peace in this moment. Not because it's perfect, but because you are present for it. The real flex, the Stoics would say, is not achievement, but acceptance. And maybe, just maybe, that's the only should worth keeping. I should show up as I am, for the life I already have, filling every silence with noise, every gap with a scroll. You forget that the greatest clarity comes not in talking, but in listening. The Stoics lived in the pause, breath before battle, stillness before speech. Imagine if your entire day was a collection of conscious pauses, each one a reset button for your peace. Picture Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, sitting at a desk, probably marble, maybe with a little bust of Socrates for decoration. His advisors storm through the doors, bearing problems, complaints, urgent news about barbarians and bread riots. And what does Marcus do? He pauses. Maybe he stirs his wine, or picks at a grape. Not because he's trying to waste time, though honestly, who among us hasn't taken just a bit too long refilling a coffee cup to delay a Zoom meeting? But because he knows that wisdom floats best on still water, we have been bamboozled into thinking that constant motion equals constant progress. If you're busy, you're important. If you're resting, you must be slacking. But the Stoics would argue the opposite. The Stoic pause is not laziness. It's not your phone freezing mid-TikTok. No, it's a sacred pause. A full system reboot, worthy of a cinematic zoom-in and a dramatic soundtrack. When you deliberately pause, you signal to your mind and body, we are not on autopilot. We are here. Plot twist. Too often, we race from tab to tab, task to task. Netflix episode to, whoops, how did it get to 3 a.m. again? Imagine, instead, approaching life like a philosopher warrior. Before you respond to that sarcastic text message or doom scroll Twitter, you practice a micro meditation. 1 full breath in. 1 full breath out. Congratulations. You just rewired your brain for tranquility and possibly outwitted Seneca in a calm off. When you hit the sacred pause, you switch off the monkey mind's default setting. Jump, react, defend. You trade mindless hustle for mindful hustling. Less Bruce Lee in a bar fight. More Bruce Lee being water, my friend. You create a gap wide enough for insight to wander in. Sit on your couch and say, mate, let's not make that impulsive purchase on Amazon at midnight. But what about those moments when the pause feels uncomfortable? When the silence in a conversation stretches longer than your phone charger cable? That's when the magic happens. The Stoics believed the uncomfortable pause was where true reflection flourished. That's when you face your thoughts with the courage of a gladiator, sword sharpened by skepticism, shielded by curiosity. In the sacred pause, ordinary things become extraordinary. The steam swirling from your cup of tea, the pause between laugh tracks on a sitcom, the hush after a storm. These are invitations to check in with yourself, like little pit stops for your soul in the Grand Prix of existence. When you practice the sacred pause, you no longer chase every fleeting emotion as if auditioning for a soap opera. You become the director, calmly deciding which drama gets airtime and which thoughts deserve to fade out, roll credits, and exit stage left. And, just to mess with any lurking perfectionists, here's a secret. Honoring the pause is the easiest way to appear wise, without even having to say anything wise. Next time someone asks you a tough question, don't rush. Implement that stoic silence. Let them think you're channeling Seneca. In reality, you're just waiting for inspiration, or for your brain's hamster to get off its tiny treadmill. So tonight, as you fall into sleep, allow yourself to savor the hush between thoughts. Embrace the gentle power of the pause, the soundtrack of the wise, the lullaby of clarity. The world will still be noisy tomorrow. For now, enjoy the sacred intermission and let your soul catch up. You confuse the waves in your mind for your entire being. Thoughts come, uninvited and wild. You try to swat them away, but they multiply. The Stoic meditates on this. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer. You are the calm beneath the turbulence. Imagine being the stillness beneath the surface, no matter the storm above. Notice that your thoughts are like pigeons in a city square, bustling, plodding around, occasionally pooping where you don't want them, but rarely under your control. If you chase them away, 3 more land in their place, pecking at invisible crumbs of worry and memory. Marcus Aurelius once described his own mind like a wrestling school, and truly, there's always someone in your mental gym warming up for their next anxious monologue. But you are not the competitor. You are the referee. Maybe even the bored stadium janitor, sweeping up after the match. Your mind spins tall tales faster than a toddler on a sugar rush. Suddenly, you're replaying the time you called your teacher, Mom, in 4th grade, or you're scripting imaginary arguments with your neighbour over patio furniture. You sit there, minding your business, and your brain plays a full episode of embarrassing memories. The musical. Wild, isn't it? But here comes the Stoic move. Instead of starring in each theatrical thought, what if you quietly watched from the balcony seats? What if, instead of jumping on stage, you simply observed, eating metaphorical popcorn and waiting for intermission? Thoughts flicker, but you remain. Try this. As you notice a thought, label it like it's on a nature documentary. Ah, the rare self-criticism, grazing near the memory of last Thursday. Or, and here we have a wild craving for potato chips, appearing just before bedtime, as always. When you narrate your mind like a British nature host, you create distance. The real you is not the overdramatic squirrel hoarding worries for winter. The real you is the forest, still and patient, observing all that moves through. The modern world profits from your confusion. Social media wants you to believe every thought deserves a reaction. Notifications prod your mind like a toddler with a stick. Algorithms thrive on your unexamined impulses. Click, scroll, compare, repeat. But you, aspiring Stoic, are carving out a secret resistance. You step back and watch, refusing to let a passing thought crash land your evening. You realize, if every idea tugged at your sleeve is an emergency, then every moment is a crisis. But what if most of your thoughts are just background noise? What if 99% of them are spam emails for your soul? Would you respond to everyone? Tonight, let this become your new ritual. Not a sprint towards some tranquil fantasy, but a return home, to the unbreakable core within you. You did not come here to argue with chaos, but to observe it. You did not come here to control others, but to master yourself. Every law you heard tonight, from discipline in reaction to the quiet pride of detachment, lives in you, already, waiting for your permission to lead. You are not the weather, you are the mountain. There will always be noise, but your silence is proof. There will always be storms, but your clarity is control. Thank you for choosing the harder path, warrior. Walk quietly. Walk free. Your peace is not up for negotiation. Tonight, let this become your new ritual. Not a sprint towards some tranquil fantasy, but a return home, to the unbreakable core within you. You did not come here to argue with chaos, but to observe it. You did not come here to control others, but to master yourself. Every law you heard tonight, from discipline in reaction to the quiet pride of detachment, lives in you already, waiting for your permission to lead. You are not the weather, you are the mountain. There will always be noise, but your silence is proof. There will always be storms, but your clarity is control. Thank you for choosing the harder path, warrior. Walk quietly. Walk free. Your peace is not up for negotiation.